Hello and welcome to Continues of Cần Thơ Radio and Television Station. Here are today's headlines. The 2568 Buddha's birthday celebration at Trúc, Phương Nam Zen Monastery, organized by the Executive Board of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha of Cần Thơ City. Military Zone 9 inspected party and political works at the Ministry of Military Affairs of Cần Thơ City. A conference on the plan to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the establishment of Tây Đô Battalion. Top news today. On May 22nd morning, the Executive Board of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, the VBS of Cần Thơ City, organized the 2568 Buddha's birthday celebration at Trúc, Phương Nam Zen Monastery, Mỹ Khánh Commune, Phong Điền District.
His Holiness, the Supreme Patriarch of the VBS, delivered a message on the Buddha's birthday to delegates, monks, and nuns. The Venerable Chairman of the Executive Council of the VBS also gave a statement in honor of the Buddha's birthday. Along with other monks, nuns, lay people, and Buddhists, Mr. Trần Việt Trường, Vice Secretary of the City Party Committee and Chairman of the City People's Committee, sincerely convey his best wishes to religious leaders. Simultaneously, he wishes for Cần Thơ Buddhists to consistently and skillfully carry out party directives and policies, adhere to state legislation, and effectively respond to and engage in campaigns, patriotic emulation, and social security initiatives.
The working group led by Colonel Trịnh Hoàng Phong, Deputy Head of Political Affairs of Military Zone 9, has just come to inspect and grasp the situation of party work and political work at the Ministry of Military Affairs of Cần Thơ City. Agencies and units of the Cần Thơ City Ministry of National Defense have understood and taken seriously since the beginning of the year the resolutions, instructions, and directives of superiors. Organize political and ideological events with care to increase commanders and troops' knowledge about their responsibilities, apply the for good cell concept efficiently. The head of the political department requested that the Ministry of Military Affairs of Cần Thơ City continue to promote the results and propose measures to overcome the limitations and shortcomings pointed out by the actual inspection at affiliated agencies and units. The departments also asked the ministry closely follow the direction and guidance of superiors, implement closely and effectively, and help to improve the quality of party work and political work of the city's armed forces in the future. On May 21st morning, Cần Thơ City Military Headquarters held a conference to comment on a draft plan to organize activities to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the establishment of Tây Đô Battalion.
According to the plan, activities to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the founding of Tây Đô Battalion will have the following contents: both propaganda and instructional initiatives, the opening of the Vĩnh Viễn Thao, Long Mỹ District, and Đục Canal rural transportation route in the province of Hậu Giang, opening of the Tây Đô Battalion's Victory Memorial Stele, marching to retrace the former combat zone, visit the Tây Đô Battalion Memorial House and Martyr Cemetery. Examining these events is crucial to understanding the 60-year history of Tây Đô Battalion's formation, combat, and development. As a result, the People's Armed Forces continue to propagate the tradition that they aim to imitate and are determined to perfect to successfully perform as our responsibility through propaganda and education for officers and troops of the Cần Thơ City, Hậu Giang Province Armed Forces.
Following the direction of Cần Thơ City People's Committee on inspecting petroleum activities serving production, on May 22nd morning, Director of the Department of Industry and Trade, Hà Vũ Sơn, and leaders of the City Market Management Department came to work with Saigon Petrol Cần Thơ branch. The company operates and markets the petroleum warehouses at Trà Nóc Industrial Park that supply the western provinces. Their current challenge is that they are up against intense competition from other units, which lowers company efficiency. The primary cause is that businesses and retail distribution outlets have not signed many supply and franchise agreements due to the company's relatively low discount rate. The Department of Industry and Trade's leaders asked Saigon Petrol to fully abide by state laws and supply all production, business, and profit data so that functional authorities can monitor and inspect the company in compliance with industry business management requirements. The business is also reminded of the need to adhere to all petroleum industry requirements, which include making sure that warehouses and associated retail locations have fire safety management in place and providing for the officers and staff of the units. Responding to the month of action on occupational safety and hygiene in 2024, on May 21st morning, the city's interdisciplinary occupational safety and hygiene inspection team came to work with Cần Thơ Fertilizer and Chemical Joint Stock Company, located in Janop 1 Industrial Park, Janop Ward, Bình Thuy District.
The delegation examined the conditions surrounding the employment of labor, the observance of legislative requirements on workplace safety and hygiene, and the prevention and management of occupational illnesses. The company regularly conducts training sessions for employees on chemical safety, occupational hygiene, and safe working practices. It also provides personal protective equipment, develops and posts operating procedures and regulation for machines and equipment in accordance with ISO standards and ensures safe working conditions. Finally, it provides medical equipment for first aid, health examinations for employees, and other purposes. During the meeting, the multidisciplinary inspection team from the city suggested that the company stick to the law on occupational safety and hygiene and follow on applicable procedures which could help to ensure worker and production safety.
After difficulties in capital, Lộc Jai Group Joint Stock Company completely paid nearly 2,500 billion Vietnam dong to purchase the winter-spring 2023-2024 rice to farmers in the Mekong Delta. To integrate production and investment in agricultural products and services on cultivated land exceeding 50,000 hectares in the Mekong Delta region, Lộc Jai signed a contract to cover all output. Additionally, the unit works with more than 400 farming households in the districts of Vĩnh Thành, Cờ Đỏ, and Thới Lai, covering a combined area of almost 2,500 hectares. The group had acquired more than 300,000 tons of rice by mid-April 2024, and it had been processed at factories spread throughout numerous areas. The group has worked with several other credit organizations, including TP Bank, to quickly implement a credit package to compensate farmers. As a result, Lộc Jai Group has so far distributed and paid farmers in the Mekong Delta region close to 2,500 billion Vietnam dong. Grasping the summer tourism trend of 2024, tourism businesses in Cần Thơ City coordinated with the city's tourism industry to take many steps to prepare to serve visitors.
Before the peak of summer travel, Mr. Trần Việt Phương, chairman of the Mekong Delta Tourism Association, declared that he could use a variety of propaganda and promotional strategies to make the Mekong Delta and Cần Thơ in particular, and their unique tourism offerings visible to a wide audience. The Mekong Delta Tourism Association is also committed to building and developing tourism products, particularly niche offerings like river and garden products, which draw both domestic and foreign visitors. Additionally, the association worked to improve the quality of human resources, particularly those employed in the tourism sector, and how to best serve people, please the arriving guests, please the departing guests.
The Vietnam General Confederation of Labor stated that the forum, Improving National Labor Productivity in 2024, will be held on May 26. According to the Vietnam Confederation of Labor, trade union representatives, government employees, workers, experts, managers, and company owners will have the chance to interact and talk about the current situation of labor productivity in Vietnam, as well as the reasons behind any labor productivity bottlenecks and potential solutions to encourage high labor productivity in the country. It is expected that at the forum, the Prime Minister will speak and convey the message about improving labor productivity for workers and businesses nationwide. Coming up next is the weather forecast. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.